I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. In my bank account. Hey, hey, hey. Just kidding. But your girl has the 5 short stories listed for the Kent Literature Prize for African Writing 2018. The results for the winner will be in July 2nd, I believe. So meanwhile, I'm going to tell you which one I would like to see win. Let's talk. So what is the CAINE Prize? The CAINE Prize for African Writing is a literature prize awarded to an African writer of a short story published in English. The prize was launched in 2000 to encourage and highlight the richness and diversity of African writing by bringing it to the wider audience internationally. This definition can be found on the CAINE Prize website, by the way. This cannot get more accurate than this, right? There was a little controversy about that prize. Why do we need a prize to celebrate just African writers? Why can't it just be all the writers, And what about the French-speaking countries of Africa, What about the authors who write in their tribal language and it's never translated in English? They're not part of that prize? They're not considered? Is the CAINE Prize very representative then? I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not here to talk about this because me personally, I think that this CAINE Prize is very, very positive, and this prize is a big step towards the right direction. So as of right now, if you're born in the African continent, if you are a permanent resident of any African country, or if you have at least one of your parents born in Africa, and if you have a short story that has been published, congratulations, you qualify for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's £10,000 cash prize, which is massive. Before I dive into the good stuff, I want to stress that I'm not part of the 2008 CAINE Prize jury. I have no clue what criteria they use in order to shortlist and elect winners. I am just a girl who loves to read and give her opinion. I will select my favorite story based on what moved me, what touched me, and what transported me. Now, let me give you a quick summary of all 5 stories. They all were a pleasure to read, by the way. And then reveal my winner. Number 1, we have American Dream by Nonyelum Ekwempu from Nigeria. So this is the story of a boy whose wealthy dad died a year ago, and we follow him and his widowed mother and his 2 younger sisters evolving in a new neighborhood in the slums of Makoko. Their new life in extreme poverty and everlasting grief seems only bearable because of one thing. The prophet Ashanaku told that our boy, the main character, will one day go to America. This is a short story like I love them. It makes you attached to the main character who keep having bad luck beyond their control, but you just hang on to the hope that things will turn around for them, hopefully. Number 2, Involution by Stacey Hardy, South Africa. So the story is sorry, I'm just blushing just thinking about that one, This is a story of a woman who is discovering that there is a strange and foreign creature stuck in between her legs. But is it a foreign creature or a whole world of unknown sensation who is part of her but she had yet to explore? This story kept me guessing all along. Is the main character a pre-teenage girl, or is it a woman? Is it a sci-fi type of story, or is it erotica? I was just intrigued all the way, and I like that. It kept me guessing, Stacey Hardy. That's good. That story was very descriptive and sensual, but yet it was subtle and felt innocent. And such a hot story said in such a naive way felt like I was rediscovering my body. Super interesting. Story number 3. The Arm Letter Writers by Olufunke Ogundimu from Nigeria. So we are in, I believe to be a nice Nigerian neighborhood. One morning, a letter has been put up in a sign. It is the ARA, Armed Robbers Association. They politely and very professionally ask the neighborhood to prepare for the upcoming visits to rob everybody. So they have listed items for everybody to have to be prepared for their visit. No reason to inform the police, they say, as they have already done so. And anybody trying to not be cooperative will be punished. Looking forward to see you all soon. Sincerely, kind regards, love, ARA. And so then we follow how the situation evolves, escalates, de-escalates, re-escalates with the people, the landlords, the police of the neighborhoods. The whole story was so funny, man. Even if it is fiction, I truly believe that it reflects so much foolishness and nonsense that is going on in our motherlands right now. And there is a character in the story, Uncle Ermu. You know what? It's so unfair because Uncle Ermu was the only one that was trying to resist the BS that was going on, And poor Uncle Ermu. Sorry, I shouldn't even laugh. I did like how Olufunke's story was full of irony and sarcasm. Story number 4, Fanta Blackcurrant by Makina Angelica from Kenya. Mary is the prettiest Toto from the slum. Toto means kid, child. And we follow her and her friends. I believe most of them were orphans. We kind of witness their evolutions and decay and their proximity to drugs and prostitution and crime. This is a pretty sad story, and I'm very sensitive to that, especially when it has anything to do with poverty and kids. It just breaks my heart in a million pieces. I absolutely love the fact that the story was written as if it was one of the kids that was telling the story. The wordings, the tone, it make it seem so real, and it crushed my heart in pieces even more. Loved it. Story number 5. This is the story of Salomon Grundy, who was born on a Monday, Christian on a Tuesday, married on a Wednesday, ill on a Thursday, worse on a Friday, died on a Saturday, buried on a Sunday. That was the end of Salomon Grundy. So this poem was actually a nursery rhyme that was taught to kids so they knew the days of the week. And Wole Talabi just basically put meat on this nursery rhyme. It had the background. We learned who he got married to, why he got married, why he got ill, why he died. He basically created a life for Salomon Grundy, First of all, I think we need to stop and try to understand what was in the mind of the person that actually created that song. I don't want to read that to my kid. Born on a Monday and then buried on a Sunday. How disturbing. And I tried to find the actual version, but I couldn't find it because they switch it around. Now Salomon Grundy is not born on a Monday. He has school on a Monday. And Salomon Grundy is not ill on a Thursday. He's now biking on a Thursday. And instead of dying on a Sunday, he's shopping on a Sunday. Which is better. It is better that way, it's more kids friendly. Wole Talabi on his stories is showing that he's conscious that he's telling us a story. Yeah. Basically, he started his story saying, you know what guys, this story is not well written. It's a bit messy, but just hang in there because I think that's a story you're gonna like. And I like that. I love that beginning. It's badass. I loved it. And I can't wait to actually meet the authors and hear them talk about their stories and maybe read their stories next week. And I will tell you more about it once I announce my winner. I've read all those stories last week and I changed my mind 1,000 times before actually now settling on the winner. I was torn in between two. I was torn between the armed letter writers, those rubbers that write a polite letter to tell people, give us your stuff, and American Dream, that little boy that father died a year ago and they became really, really poor. But the winner is, drumroll, or maybe, no, this is better, right? American Dream by Nonyelum Ekwempu. Yes, I had to go with that one. I had to go with that one for the fact that in that story, all the characters had their own stories on, and not all of them were fully told. And rather than it feeling like being holes on the story, it felt like there were plenty of layers that I was dying to unfold. The story got juice. I felt like Nonyelum Ekwempu could have went on and on and on writing, and I sure would have been there to read it. Nonyelum Ekwempu, I cannot give you 10 grand, but what I'm going to do is stalk you to see if you're going to write a novel so I can buy it and order it. And hopefully, in your novel, you're going to introduce us or reintroduce us to your characters that I love, because I want to know more. How come the father of that child died? There is a little myth going on. People are talking, but we don't really know what happened. I want to know what happened to the neighbor, why they got into an argument, why they got cussing at each other. I want to know what happened to the neighbor's son that got beaten and kicked out of school. Is it true that all that happened to him because he kissed another little boy? And finally, I want to know if Prophet Ashanaku was right. Our little boy, is he really going to America? Story got juice. So, as I was telling you a little bit earlier, all those authors are coming to London, I think next week. And I have put on the description box all the information for it. And obviously, same schmilblick as usual. Like, share, and subscribe to Chocolate Readings. Thanks for watching, guys. Bisous. I'm rooting for you, Nonyelum. I'm rooting for you.